lot of people. A lot of people. This is incredible. We love you. We love you. Oh, you better get out on June. Remember, June 7th, you better get out. We're turning it around. I want to thank that group. See what it says? Latinos for Trump. I love that. Thank you. Thank you. I love that sign. It's true, too. So thank you to everybody. You know, this is a place, I love California. I love the state. Great feelings. You know, we want to bring on some friends. We have some friends. The Remembrance Project, they were outside. They were taking a picture. I said, come on stage with me for a couple of minutes. And these are incredible people. They lost loved ones to illegal immigration. And they're unbelievable. They've suffered. I've gotten to know them over a period of time. And come on over here, folks. Come on. Line up right here, honey. These are great people. They've become my friends over the last couple of years, and they have really suffered. And a friend of mine, he's really become a great friend of mine, Jamil Shaw, who is, he had a son who was an incredible son, going to college on a scholarship. He was going to get in on a scholarship, great football player. And I just want Jamil, representing the group, to say a few words and explain what happened. And it's tough, but your son died with unbelievable purpose, because what's happening, and when they hear the story, we'll all understand. And then we're going to get back to other things, including jobs, Jamil, right? Right. Okay, Jamil Shaw, great friend.
Thank you. I just want to bring it back to the day that Donald Trump was coming down the escalator, in which everybody saw that very first day. I was watching it too, and I felt so proud, because for the first time, my son died and was murdered in 2008. But when I saw Trump and what he said, for the first time, it gave me real hope, real change, something to hope for. It gave us something to hope for, because we know what Trump is going to do. He's going to do everything he said. It says. That's why everybody's so scared right now, because they know a change is coming. Change is coming. And in March the 2nd, 2008, me and my son, we went to a football camp in Pasadena, and it was designed for guys who were going to be Division I athletes. So, we worked hard. He was 17 years old. On the way home from from Pasadena, he asked me, could he go to the mall? Of course I was worried, and I ignored him, thinking maybe he would just, forget about it. He asked again, and, he's a good kid, never been in trouble, never been in jail, no gangs, never been suspended from school. He was doing everything right, like a lot of our kids were, They were living the so-called American dream, which everybody's trying to get the American dream, but they give us the American nightmare, It's not right. So on the way home, of course I let him go to the mall and hang out. I told him, be home by 7. 7 o'clock came, I called him, where you at? It's like I always say. He said, oh man, I missed the bus, we're on our way. We're safe though, Dad, we're safe. I said, man, I would have came and got you, should have called me. And he's like, we're okay, I said, okay, I'll call you in an hour. I called him back, where are you? He said, I'm right around the corner. Whew, I felt like, whew. He made it back home. I told his little brother, get your clothes on, we're gonna get ready to go get some track spikes, because he had a track meet that Friday. And we're going to come home with something to eat, and just when I said that, I heard 2 gunshots. Pow! It was so crispy. People who know guns know that crispiness, is real close. And I remember saying, damn, I hope this boy not dead. Called his phone, he didn't answer it, went outside, laying in the street dead. Shot in the head, couldn't believe it. Even to this day, I couldn't believe it. They didn't find out an illegal alien on his 3rd gun charge. Now, we hear all these gun people talking about ban guns, but you got an illegal alien on his 3rd gun charge, never been deported, was given, this last one, he had assault with a deadly weapon, battery on a peace officer, resisting arrest. They put him in the county jail for 8 months, let him out 4 months early. Same day he got out, he was looking for blacks to kill because the 18th Street gang and the legal alien gangs have this thing where they got to kill and do bad things on the first day out so they won't get rehabilitated. They'll come right back out and get right back where they left off. And he was ordered to go out and look for somebody black to kill. He's in my neighborhood. My son walking down the street, minding his business, coming home, doing everything right. Legal alien sees him, runs over there to him while he's on the phone with his girlfriend and asks him, "What set you from?" He wasn't in no set, never been gangbanging in his life. I was there the whole time. I dedicated my life to my kids like we all do, you know, and to see him laying dead in the street and to hear that he was in the county jail and was released on a Saturday night, no supervision, nobody called ICE. That's not fair as American citizens. We demand Americans first. We don't care. We don't care about illegal aliens. We don't care. Americans first. First things first. Nothing's gonna work. That's why Donald Trump is here. Donald Trump is giving us hope. All of our loved ones who are murdered, we miss them every day. There's no such thing as closure. It's never over. You guys who have your family intact, you should thank God, because you don't want to know what we know about grieving. You don't want to know what it feels like. And you have an opportunity to do something, what we call preventive maintenance, is in bringing in Donald Trump. He's going to fix everything. He's going to make America great again, and it's going to be so nice. I can't save my son, but Trump is here to save us all. And like I said, he's going to give us real hope and real change. Thank you.
He is such a great guy. I've gotten to know all of these people, and most of these people, all of them actually. And I will tell you, Jamil, though, just representing the group, they all have a very similar story to tell. And people that shouldn't have been here, people that should have never been allowed to come over the border, and they come here like it's nothing. They walk through it like it's just nothing. And we're going to stop it, and we're going to build the wall. We're going to also, we can't have this, folks. We don't have a country anymore. You know, I'm looking at statistics where your crime numbers are so crazy, they're going through the roof. So we can't have it anymore. Now look, here's the thing. And what Jamil didn't even say, and his boy was amazing. He was gonna just doing so great, great student, great everything. Getting ready to go to college. And every college wanted him. They wanted him for his academics, they wanted him for football. And when Jamil saw his boy lying there, he started pounding the sidewalk with his hand. He broke his hand just pounding the sidewalk. And it's just like these are horrible stories, and they happen so much. Everybody here has essentially the same end result. They have the same story. They're great people. These are unbelievable people. I don't even know how they take it. These are great, unbelievable people. We have to stop it. And you know, their lives are so important. And your relatives' lives are so important. Your boys, your girls, all of the people. They did not die in vain, believe me, because it's such an important thing. And I just want to thank all of you. You're special, special people. Really brave. And just go out and do the best you can. Let's have a good evening, okay? All right? We love you. Thank you. Thank you, darling. Come. Thank you, everybody. Say hello. Thank you, darling. Unbelievable people, folks. Unbelievable people. So we're going to do a lot of things in this country. We're going to get our country back to a balance. We're going to, hey, we want people to come in, but they have to come in legally. They have to come in through a process. We can't be put in this position anymore, and it's going to change. It's going to change fast. Look at these crowds of people we're getting no matter where I go. I just left Indiana. I'm going back very soon. And frankly, they talk about the same thing. Even where Indiana is located, you wouldn't think it would be a problem. It's a huge problem. People are coming in. Nobody knows where they're coming from. You know, the Obama administration is taking people in from the migration. We have people coming in from the Middle East that are brought in, and we have no idea who they are. There's no documentation. There's no paperwork. We're putting them all over the country by the thousands, and we have no idea what the hell is going to happen. We have no idea. So look, folks, we're going to straighten it out. You know, I'll tell you, I was very honored because this last week, the Border Patrol, these are amazing people. They want to do their job. They're not allowed to do their job. They're told to stand back. Don't do your job. Stand back. And they endorsed me. 15,500 Border Patrol agents. And when we let them go to it, they're going to be great even before the wall gets built. But we will build the wall. Mexico is going to pay for the wall. We're going to stop drugs from coming in. The drugs are poisoning our youth and a lot of other people, and we're going to get it stopped, okay? We're going to get it stopped. And I'll tell you this, let me just tell you, because I see it, I see all the Hispanic signs and the Latino signs, and I love the people. I love the people. African American signs, I love that sign, by the way. And we're going to do great with the African Americans, with the Hispanics, because we're going to bring jobs back to our country. We are going to bring jobs back to this country. Our jobs have been sucked away like you take candy from a baby. We're not going to let it happen anymore, folks. We're not going to let it happen. So we have to be tough. We have to be vigilant. We have to be strong. And I tell this story. Good. Thank you, darling. I love you too. Look at that. It's great. But I tell this story, and in a way it's a rough story. But this country is so politically correct. We don't get anything. We don't understand anything. We don't understand what's going on. We don't understand. And it's the story of General Pershing. Do you know that story? Does anybody know it? It's a rough story. And they were having a tremendous, this is before the First World War, they were having a tremendous problem with really radical Islamic terrorism. They were having an unbelievable problem. General Pershing was a tough, ruthless general. He wouldn't do well today because he was too tough, he was too ruthless, and probably used foul language, so he'd be out. They wouldn't even allow him. So this was a problem that was really out of control, many people being killed, and it was. I mean, we have a president that doesn't want to use the term. And by the way, Muslims, great people, tremendous people. We're all great people. But we understand where there's a problem, you have to bring up the name. It's called radical Islamic terrorism. I have many Muslim friends. That call me and they say, thank you, Donald. We all want to cure it, but you can't cure a problem if you don't want to mention what that problem is. So for whatever reason, so General Pershing was sent there to solve a really serious terror problem. They caught 50 radical Islamic terrorists. They caught them. They took the 50, they lined them up. They took a pig, and then they took a second pig, and they cut the pig open, and they took the bullets from the rifles, and they dumped the bullets into the pigs, and they swashed it around, and then they took the bullets, and they shot 49 of the 50 people. And the 50th person, they said, take this bullet and bring it back to all of the people causing the problem and tell them what happened tonight. He took the bullet, he brought it back, that 50th person, and for 42 years, they didn't have a problem with radical Islamic terrorism, folks, okay? Believe me. So we're going to have to get a lot tougher than we are because we have problems that you wouldn't believe. During one of the debates, we have this guy, Lion Ted Cruz. We know Lion Ted, right? I mean, nobody likes him. I've never seen a guy like this. In fact, have we branded this guy or what? I mean, I see him walking into these beautiful corridors in Washington and guys say, hey, Lion Ted, how you doing? It's like, oh, he's a liar. I've never seen. You know, I go along and I talk about health care. I talk about this. Everything I say. He'll go 2 hours later. Donald Trump loves Obamacare. By the way, we're going to repeal it and replace it, just so you understand. But he'll say, Donald Trump wants to absolutely get rid of the Second Amendment. We're going to protect our Second Amendment. This guy is so bad. And then he makes a deal. You know, he got beaten so badly in New York, and then in Pennsylvania, and Maryland, and Connecticut, and Rhode Island, right? And Delaware. And I got these massive votes, and even the horrible press, which is back, oh, look at all those people. They're horrible. They're horrible. Among the most dishonest people I have ever met in my life, the press. The press. Certain members, fine, but I tell you what, they are really bad. But so he gets beaten so badly, and Kasich, by the way, Kasich, who voted in favor of NAFTA when he was in Congress, which has destroyed everything, and we're not going to let them vote for the Trans-Pacific Partnership. We will get wiped out if they do that. We're not going to let it happen. So what happens is this. So Cruz gets just killed. Kasich gets killed. So now, I mean, these guys have been doing this stuff all their life. I've only been doing it for 9 months, right? And they have to double team me. They have to double team me. You know, we took them out one by one. We have low energy Jeb Bush. And I was going to be nice to Jeb, but I saw he was interviewed today by somebody at NBC, and he said bad things. He said, he is not a conservative. Give me a break. He is not a conservative. I am actually a conservative, but I'm like smart too. When we have all this stuff, it's like, no, I was going to be nice to him. Because I like a lot of the people that have disappeared, one after another. It's a beautiful sight. Boom, 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 boom. And I was nice to Jeb Bush. You know, after he got defeated, I was nice. But here's what happens. So I hear he's interviewed today. I said, do me a favor. It's amazing what they can do. They have this thing about 2 seconds later, they get me a copy of his interview. I said, let me know. I figured they're going to give it to me in writing. Let me know. One of my guys, Dan. I've got it, sir. Like, what? 11 seconds later. He's got a machine that's giving me the whole interview. What would you like? He presses Trump and it goes right to that section. And he starts hitting me, you know, like he said, and he did say he is a gifted politician. He said that a while ago. And my wife said, why would he say that? I shouldn't tell you this. Maybe he's not so smart. Why would you say that, right? But he hits me today, so I feel fine. He's a low-energy person. We don't need low-energy people. Just remember that. We need high energy. We need strength. You know, Hillary, crooked Hillary, right? Crooked. She's crooked as you can be. Crooked Hillary. No, crooked Hillary. She said very strongly, I don't like the tone of Donald Trump, the tone. Now she's there shouting all night long, reading off teleprompters. Does she ever make a speech where there's not? I mean, she won the other night. I'm sort of glad she won. You know, I really want to beat her more than Sanders. And you know, the system is rigged on both sides. It's rigged on our side. I have 5 million. I have so many votes more than like Cruz and Kasich. And yet, you know, they go in and they sort of semi-bribe all these people and the delegates, and all of a sudden, and it's just like, it's a terrible system. I mean, it's a terrible system. But Hillary said, I don't like the tone. Now, here we are in a world that's going to hell. We have people's heads are being cut off. You know, not since medieval times. I used to love history. It was like my favorite. I loved history. And you'd read about medieval times, right? Medieval times, chop off heads. Now we're chopping off heads. I mean, I didn't see anything about this. Even the Wild West, they'd shoot you, but they don't chop off the heads. Chop off the heads, drown people in these big cages, 50 at a time, drop. And she's saying, I don't like his tone. His tone is nasty. Folks, we need a tough tone, folks. We need a tough tone. We need a tough tone, believe me. Believe me. For a while, at least, we're going to need it. You know, when they talked to Lion Ted, so we were at the debate, and I've been at the center of every single debate, number one. Won every debate, according to all the polls. Drudge, who's fantastic, Drudge and Time Magazine and all these people. I've won every single debate. I've been center stage. And the only thing that would bother me is when we had an even number. I'd always say, I don't want an even number, because then we'd have two people at the center, but I was always number one. So usually we had an odd. But I was always center, right? And they asked Cruz about waterboarding. What do you think of waterboarding? Well, and he didn't like it because it's really not like a good answer for him, because he's actually a very weak person. So he didn't like it. So he sort of like, well, so after like 2 minutes, you didn't know what the hell he said, right? Because he's a politician. Then they look at me, what do you think of waterboarding, Mr. Trump? I said, I think it's great. I think it's just fine. Just fine. And you all remember this, one of the debates. And I didn't know if I was saying the right thing. I just say the truth. I said, I think it's fine. I said, we are living in a very, very vicious world, and I think it's fine. And frankly, if we can, I'd go many steps further than waterboarding, okay? Many, many steps further. And if that requires changing laws, you know, the next day I'm hit with, oh, but you'll have to change the laws. It's all fine. But, you know, how do you defeat an enemy when we are playing at a certain level? We have all these rules and regulations. We have a soldier that's a little bit rough, and they destroy the soldier, right? And they have down here, they have no rules, no regulations. They can do whatever they want. That's not a good way to win, folks, okay? So we're going to have to get a lot tougher, a lot smarter. Remember the story with really a great general, but remember the story of General Pershing. Just remember that story, folks, because we have problems. We have problems. Even coming over today, a very big problem. Lots of things. You listen to the news, you see what's going on. We have to be smart, we have to be tough, we have to be vigilant, or we're not going to have our country anymore. I'm telling you that. So here's the story. And we have to have great compassion. We have to have great compassion. Remember this, borders. If we don't have borders, we don't have a country. So we're going to have borders. Now, in California, and I heard this for the first time today, a poll came out today, not that I'm proud of this particular statistic. I hate to tell you, should I tell you? They said that I'm even Rasmussen poll. I'm even with her. I don't like being even, but I haven't started on her. You know, these guys like Kasich. I've had 55,000 negative ads. I have negative ads. I just left Indiana. Every single ad is a Trump ad. And believe me, most of them are really wrong. Some, not so bad. But most of them, millions of dollars being spent. In Florida, when I went Florida, I went a whole week. I was down in Florida at Trump National Doral, very good place, by the way. But I'm down. And I'm watching, and every ad was like a Trump hit. And I told my people, there's no way we could win Florida. And they said, why? Because I said, every time I turn on the television, all I see are these horrible lies, these horrible ads. And then I won in a landslide. So you never know. I mean, you never know. I think people become immune. But just remember, okay, just remember. We're going to do something. You know, we have a movement going on, right? It's a movement. This isn't like a normal situation. Bill O'Reilly last week, good guy, tough. I mean, he'll come at you if he thinks you're wrong, believe me, but tough. He said in his lifetime, what's happened with Trump is the single biggest political event he's ever seen. I'm telling you. the biggest political event. And many people have said it. And I have to tell you, so I get a call from a writer, actually a very good writer, even though he does happen to be on the liberal side, which is fine. He said, Mr. Trump, could I ask you this question? I don't know him. He goes, how does it feel? I said, how does what feel? What you've done has never been done in the history of politics in our nation. I said, really? I haven't won. I mean, what have I done? He said, you have changed the whole landscape of politics. And I sort of get it. I sort of get it. He said, no, but he said, and he said strongly, he said, no, it doesn't. I said, no, I have to win. He said, no, you don't have to win. If you don't win, what you have done will be talked about in 30 years, and 20 years, and 50 years. I said, no. If I don't win, I will consider it, and I don't just mean the nomination, beating Lion Ted and Kasich, who eats. You ever see a guy eat like him? Every time he has a news conference, they're around to take. You know, sometimes the media's pretty tough, and they wrap the table, right? And I might be eating, and I'll stop. And if my food gets cold, who cares, right? I never saw a guy like this. He's shoving this stuff. My son comes up to me, goes, Daddy, that's disgusting. Look, who is that, Daddy? Barron, who is that? Anyway, so look, we have a chance to do something great. And I told him, I said, if you tell me that I get the nomination and don't win, or if you tell me I don't get the nomination, frankly, if I wasn't going to win, I'd rather not get the nomination, because the whole thing is about winning. And we can't make... And we have to take care of our country. We can't make the changes if I don't win. He said, doesn't matter. I said, I will tell you this. If I don't win, as good as you say I have done, if I don't win, I will consider it a total and complete waste of time, energy, and money. I really mean it. Because we are on the verge of doing something that's really unprecedented. You know, they used to call it the silent majority. Now we'll call it the noisy majority, because we're not going to take it anymore. We're not going to take it, folks. We're not going to take it. So this all began on June 16th. I was coming down the escalator with Melania. And I said, man, you know, this is not the easiest thing in the world to do. How are we doing? Are we doing a good job, though? Right? You know, it's funny. One of the pundits sitting around the table the other day, we won all 5, and the week before we won New York in a landslide. Then we won all of these great places, states in a landslide. They all have the same problem, by the way. 45% manufacturing gone, jobs gone, all the same thing. I mean, I used to say, give me the stats on Pittsburgh, and give me the stats on Syracuse, and all these different, I don't even ask for them anymore. They're all the same. Down 40, 50, 60%. Are we stupid people? What are we doing? And they're going to Mexico, and they're going to all over the place. They're going to everywhere but here, okay? Everywhere but here. But I'd say, give me the stats, and honestly, I have stats here. I'm going to read 2 sets. I mean, it's horrible. We're going to make you so depressed, but don't be depressed, because we're going to fix it fast, okay? Look. Orange County, we love Orange County. We do. I love Orange County. Remember, this is out of a book. This is out of a manual. No state in America has suffered worse from open borders than the state of California. Its impact on jobs, wages, security, schools, hospitals has been devastating. We know that, okay? We know. And remember this. There's a lot of really, really smart people. I have the most loyal people. I have the smart people and the most loyal. And by the way, folks, I hate to say it, but we're going to make the country great for everybody. For Hispanics, for African Americans, for everybody. We have a lot of them with us tonight. This is not for like a group where they think it's a certain group. This isn't a certain group. This is everybody. We're going to make our country great for everybody. But look at these numbers. Remember this. 18 years ago, we have people that 18 years ago, they've worked harder now than they did 18 years ago, but 18 years ago, they were making more money in real terms than they make today. And today, in many cases, they're doing double jobs, and they're dying with it. And it's supposed to be the opposite way, including me. What the hell am I doing this for, right? It's supposed to be, but it's supposed, I love you too, it's supposed to be It's supposed to be the opposite. So think of it. We have hard workers, middle income, even above middle income, and even below middle income, where they work harder today than they worked 18 years ago. 18 years. By the way, this isn't me. This is a statistic that you've all... They're working harder today than 18 years ago, and they're making less money. It's no good. It's no good. It's no good. And other people are taking your jobs, and our jobs are being disappearing. They're going to other countries. You look at what's happening in Mexico. Ford is building a massive plant. Carrier Air Conditioning just left. They're leaving Indiana. They're going to open up in Mexico. They're going to make air conditioners. They're going to sell them across the border with no tax. And you know what? 1,400 people laid off. Now with me, they're paying a 35% tax as soon as they leave, folks. And they're never going to leave. And they're never, ever going to leave, okay? You know, if you do that, the people, oh, these poor, stupid people that were running things. You know, I've watched for years, 5 years, 6 years, this has been happening, corporate inversions, and this has been happening for a long time. But I've been watching, and the government, our poor government, we're being outdealt by China. They're so smart. But I make a lot of money with China. We're being outdealt by China and Mexico and Japan. Look at Japan. They sell cars by the millions they pour in. You know what we give them? Practically nothing, okay? We give them, what do we give them? Wheat. We give them wheat. And here it is. Up here, that's Japan. Below the border, below his feet, that's where we are, okay? That's called a trade imbalance. And by the way, they don't even want our product because their people don't want our product. And I think it's great. I don't hold China. I love China. I think China is great. I have the largest bank in the world as my tenant. I sell condos all over the place. They pay me tens of millions of dollars for these condos. I own the Bank of America building in San Francisco, along with a great company. I own 1290 Avenue. All got through, boom, fighting with China. It was fighting. It wasn't like being nice. It was fighting. We can do great against China, but I don't hold China responsible. We're going to have this year a $505 billion trade deficit with China. How stupid are we? How stupid are we? How stupid are we? And I'll tell you what, Apple is going to start making their product here, by the way, okay? They're going to. They don't know it yet, but believe me, they're going to, folks. They're going. You watch. You watch. But I watch as this country comes up with all formulas. They want to keep their companies, right? They want to keep their companies, so they come up, well, what we'll do is give them low-interest loans. It's too complicated. Who wants to give them low? I don't want to even give. What do you mean? We're going to make loans? We owe $19 trillion. We're not going to make them loans, right? It's going to be $21 trillion because the budget, the omnibus, as they call it, budget that passed 4 months ago is a disaster. It's going to be $21 trillion. Nobody even knows what $1 trillion is. It's so much money. So we have $21 trillion, and we're trying to make loans to people. You don't need to make loans. I'm so good at this stuff. I'm so good. It's so easy. And by the way, these politicians, number one, they're not good at it. Number two, in many cases, they're crooked, 100% like crooked Hillary. But they get campaign contributions from these companies and from people that own the companies, where for the company it's good if they go to China, it's good, but it's bad for our country what's happening, okay? And I believe in free trade, but you can only have free trade if we have smart dealers, and we don't have smart dealers. We have people that are political hacks negotiating against some of the greatest minds in the world from China, Japan, from all of these different places. And we're going to change that. I have the smartest, Carl Icahn endorsed me, many of the great business leaders, because I know what the hell I'm doing. So what we're going to do, well, look at the size of this place. You know, I have to tell you, folks, I wish the cameras would spin around and show. They won't show it ever. Look at the size of this. This has to be a record. This thing is... Those poor people are going to fall off the upper deck. Unbelievable. Honestly, I wish the cameras would show it because they're so dishonest. They never want to show the size of the crowd. You know, last week, hey, could we have a protester in that upper corner of that, please? That's the only way the cameras will turn, folks. So, last week I had 17,000 people, which is like an average crowd. I had 17,000 people at an event, and Bernie Sanders had 6. I go and they show my event. Donald Trump has just finished his speech, and they always show it after everyone's left. And you'll have this reporter, Donald Trump has just finished his speech, and it was fine. This is so-and-so from CNN, thank you. Okay? And Fox, in all fairness, they don't report it. They're not showing this crowd. I mean, they're disgusting. They're not showing. So I had 17,000 people. Now, Bernie Sanders has 6,000 people. That's a good crowd. This is so-and-so, and we're with the Sanders campaign, where he has a massive crowd of people. It's unbelievable, folks. It's unbelievable, folks. So, but you know, the end result is people are getting it because they're seeing the numbers. And you know what we're doing to Cruz and Kasich? We're winning. It's a rigged system. It's crooked as hell. But the only way you win is by big fat numbers when even the rigged system can't change the outcome. Okay? Can't change. I've told the story. I have sort of a friend, rough guy. This is a rough guy, I mean, but he's sort of a friend. And he's a boxer, he's a champion. And I said, what are you doing? You're going into unfriendly territory. A lot of money where the opponent was, where his challenger was. I said, champ, what are you doing? You're going into unfriendly territory, and if you go into that territory, you get a decision, you're going to lose. He said, Mr. Trump, sir, let me explain something. What I do is I'll knock the hell out of him, I'll knock him out, and then there's nothing the judges can do. And that's what we're doing. And that's what happened. He knocked him out. He knocked him out. I said, champ, I like that. There's not a thing they can do. Here's the story. Millions of votes more than Lion Ted. Millions. Millions. And I saw him today. I'm the only one that has proven victories. I mean, we're killing this guy. We're killing him, and he knows it. In fact, he's over, from what I hear. How about they can't beat a guy that's been doing this for 9 months. These are professional politicians. And everyone, it's a beautiful sight. 16, 15, 14, every week, boom, boom, boom. And remember, when they talk, these lying guys, these incompetent guys like Karl Rove, he's grossly incompetent. When he mentions, no, he's incompetent. He still thinks Romney won, remember? Romney won. He lost by 5 million votes. Romney won. He still thinks right. He's an incompetent guy, and he's a bad guy. Let me just tell you something. So I'll win, and I'll have like 8 guys, 9 guys, because don't forget, we started with 17. So those first number of, we had a lot of people. So I'd win with 32%. 32% with like 9 people that say, Donald Trump did not break 50%. You can't break 50%, you got 9 people. Now in New York, I got 61, 62% with 3 people. Well, with 3 people. Then in Philadelphia, Maryland, and Connecticut, Rhode Island, and Delaware, I got these massive record numbers with 3 people. 3 people's a lot too. You know, if you get 61 to 20 to Cruz, I think at like 10 or 12 or something. I mean, this guy's a total disaster. So anyway, so now what they did is they said, we're going to form a coalition against Trump. The 2 guys, the 2 professional politicians, against the guy doing it for 9 months. So it's called collusion. Now in business, if you collude, you get thrown in jail, right? Over here, you don't get thrown. Only in politics can you collude and not get thrown in jail. Anyway, so they make a deal. Cruz will take Indiana, but the people in Indiana don't like him. And by the way, did you see today, the great Bobby Knight, the greatest, he endorsed Trump. He endorsed Trump. And I'll tell you right now, I will take Bobby Knight over Carly any day of the week. All right, that I can tell you. So they formed this deal, and it's collusion, and they got together, and one's going to take Oregon and another one. And by the way, did you see the poll just came out in Oregon? Trump 48, and they're down in the it's fantastic. And I'm going to Oregon next week because we don't forget. I'll give you an example of what happened. So Rhode Island is a smaller state, great place, but it's a smaller state. And last week the polls come out. So we just won New York in a total landslide. And you know what is nice? When the people that know me best, this is nice for you too, because you know in Palos Verdes I have the great club and we have a lot of stuff here. I love that club, I just left it. I would have stayed there a hell of a lot longer, but I had to come talk to you people, okay? You want to know the truth? No, I love it. But look, so my people, you know, I have good professional people, and they said, Rhode Island, smaller, it's got like 18 delegates, whatever it is. But it's a smaller place, but beautiful. So my people said, no, we don't have you for Rhode Island. I said, why don't you have me for Rhode Island? This is like 4 days, just a few days ago. They said, we didn't put you in Rhode Island, Mr. Trump, because you're so far ahead that you can't be beaten. You're 64%, and I haven't been there. Now, I have friends in Rhode Island. So I said to my people, I want to go to Rhode Island. They said, it's not going to help you because you're going to win. You know, because I believe in the poll stuff, in all fairness. They said, you're going to win. I said, I want to go to Rhode Island. Why? I said, because I want to go to Rhode Island. I don't want to disappoint the people that are supporting me. That's why. So it took me an hour and a half. I went to Rhode Island. I then went to Pennsylvania, Maryland. It was great. So I went to Rhode Island. We won with big, big numbers, and I just felt better about it. You know, you got to take care of your people. You have support. Now, if I didn't have support, I'd be less inclined to go if you want to. You know, I work a little bit inverse, all right? But it was like this incredible, incredible period of time. So they formed this coalition of Cruz against Kasich. Even though it's pronounced I-C-H, it's Kasich with a K, like with a K, okay? Think about K. And so now what they're doing is Kasich has given up on Indiana and hurt all of the people, because he has, like all of us, you know, we all have these people working hard. And the people that are working for Kasich said, what happened? We're going around ringing doors. Now all of a sudden we're out. Nobody even told us. So he dropped them terribly. And now Cruz gave up a couple of other states. So what they're doing is like playing Russian roulette, right? And I think what happened, I get a call at 11 o'clock in the evening, later, and they want to have a statement. I said, I can't believe anybody could be that stupid. That is the dumbest move. And the next day they were criticized incredibly because it shows weakness. They choked under pressure, very much like Mitt Romney did last time when he lost to Obama. A race that should have been won, by the way. But they choked under pressure, and I think it's going to have, I haven't seen new polls, and the big poll is going to be on Tuesday in Indiana, but I was all over the state today with Bobby Knight, and I love Bobby Knight, and they love Bobby Knight, and let's see what happens, right? So Cruz is getting clobbered. The senators don't like him. Here's a guy who's a U.S. senator. He's so disliked that practically nobody's supporting him, right? Nobody supports him, and he figures that he's going to get somebody. So he appoints he puts in a vice president, calls Carly. Now, in all fairness to Carly, she left at 0. Okay, she had 0. She had like 1 or 0. She had nothing going. And he put her. And he will get an award. Because, honestly, I love to break records. For the first time in the history of American politics, a man who is totally mathematically dead, he cannot win, has appointed a vice president. So, first time in history. Lion Ted, he's the only one. No, he's the only one. Lion Ted, he's one lion son of a gun. He's some liar, I'll tell you. You know what he probably did with her? He probably said, Carly, we're doing great. We're going to win. Let's go. Be my vice president. Oh, boy. So I think we're going to have a great vote on Tuesday in Indiana. I mean, it's a great place and great people. Amazing people. Amazing people. They're all amazing. I'll tell you what, this country, and I've gotten to know the people really well, far greater. This has been an amazing exercise. One thing, you know, I told you the story about, well, because if we don't win all the way, because we're going to have great military, we're going to have great everything, great trade deals. But I will say the one thing I really have gotten, I've gotten to know millions of people. Think of it, millions and millions of people. Today, we have a long way to go. You know, we haven't gotten to California yet. I don't even know why the hell I'm here. We're not going until the 7th, right? 7th. But I'm here a lot, so I wanted to be. But you know, think about it. Millions of people I have more than Kasich, millions and millions of people more than Lion Ted Cruz. I have millions of people more. I have hundreds of delegates more. You know, you read the stuff that Kasich has done great. He's signed all these. Well, he's signing for the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. I don't want to waste my time. I don't want to give out free hotel rooms to all those people. Do you understand? Because we're going to win on the first ballot. I'm not looking for the second. And we should do it. We should be able to do it. No, we should be able to do it. Easily. I mean, now they're saying, you know, all of a sudden, I see today on television, the biggest people are saying, well, we think Donald Trump is going to make a great president. They say, wait a minute, 5 weeks ago, the guy was saying I'm a stiff. What's going on over here? What's going on? The biggest senators, the biggest Congress people, we have unbelievable support. And people call me, even last week, people, hello, darling, oh, I love you. I thought it was a protester, I was hoping. No protest, that's okay. That's all right. Watch what happens. You got to go home. I'm telling you, it bothers me. You got to go home. And your husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, children, they've watched you. They'll say, were there any people there, Dad? Mom, were there any people there? Because of these lying people. I wish you'd take those cameras and spin them, folks. Spin those cameras. Spin them. Look, spin them. Go ahead. We have 31,000 people here today. We have 31,000 people. Look, they don't turn the cameras. Just bad people. They're bad. Look at that. I mean, right up to the pack. We have 31,000 people, and they won't even turn the cameras. Okay, so let's forget about them. They're a waste of time. Remember what I said. We win it anyway, folks. We win it anyway. So here's the story. Here's the story. We are going to do things that have never been, and I really mean, you know, our theme is Make America Great Again, and I add to it now because I've gotten to know the people. Now, if crooked Hillary gets in, that's the 3rd term of Obama, I don't think our country can ever come back again. I really mean it. I don't think. But if we get in, I'm the messenger. If we get in, read Time Magazine. We're on the cover of Time Magazine so much, I can't even read it anymore. It's too much. But we're talking, and they're talking about it as a movement, and it is. It's a total, not even a modern day movement, an all-time movement. And you go anywhere. I was in Alabama, we had 35,000, 21,000 in Dallas, 31,000 people tonight, 31,000. And I mean, you knew about it like what? 2 days ago we announced we're coming in. So it's incredible. But if we win and we go all the way, you are going to see not only Make America Great Again, it's going to be greater than ever before. I'm telling you, folks, that's the potential we have. We're lowering taxes, big league. Taxes are way down. We're going to cut taxes. We're the highest taxed nation in the world, okay, by far. We're cutting taxes so much lower than any other candidate. We are going to have an economy that is going to be spectacular. We're going to start making things again. We're going to start up our manufacturing businesses. We're going to fill all those empty businesses. I'll tell you what, you look around, all of those empty buildings. I go up to Syracuse, New York, and I go up to Poughkeepsie and all of the different places. We go down to Pittsburgh. We go over to Florida, different places. Governor of Florida endorsed me. Rick Scott, great guy, by the way. And they're doing well in Florida. And they're doing well. But you look at some of the places in Maryland, no matter where you go, Connecticut, here, I looked at the numbers. You had a couple of numbers that are crazy. Wait a minute, I got to get rid of this stuff. We got to get this crap out of here. In Los Angeles, homicides are up 10.2%. Rapes are up 8.6%. Aggravated assault is up 27.5%. What the hell is happening? It's terrible. In this area, we're going to build that wall, folks. We're going to build that wall. That wall is going to be built. I mean, it's incredible. This area, listen to this. What's going on? This area, crime has increased 33% in the last year. What the hell is going on? I know what's going on. I know what's going on. Man, that's terrible. That's terrible. So these are all horrible numbers, depressing numbers. The hell with them, okay? Because we're going to make it better. We're going to bring our country back. We are going to have strong borders. We are going to build the wall. Mexico is going to pay for the wall 100%. 100%. You know, when I got off the stage, one of the debates, this is 4 or 5 months ago, one of these guys comes up and they're, you know you can't build the wall. They have no clue. These are politicians, they have no clue. So he says, you know, sort of a semi-respected guy, not one of the better ones. He had some good people up there. Dr. Ben Carson, great guy. Great guy. Great guy. Dr. Ben is great. He endorsed me. Chris Christie endorsed me. Great guy. And I'll start talking about the rest as they endorse me, okay? I don't want to go too quick, you know, I want them to, but we have a lot of the people that have been up here. But one of them came off the stage and said, you know you'll never build a wall. I said, why? Because it's impossible to build. So folks, China, okay, built a wall 2,000 years ago that's bigger than any wall planned except for the one I'm going to build, okay? And it's 13,000 miles long. Now that is a wall. Now our wall, it's 2,000 miles, but we need 1,000 miles because we have a lot of natural barriers, okay? A lot of natural barriers. So we need 1,000. So China, 2,000 years ago, does 13,000 miles. We need 1,000 miles. And we have Caterpillar tractors. By the way, I'm not buying Komatsu. We're buying Caterpillar, right? Made in the USA. Made in the USA. So the guy comes up, he says, so what do you mean? I said, it's easy. And then what happens is the beauty of all, is there a little noise over there? I wish it. Oh, there's a protester, no? Oh. No, it's not. False alarm, damn it. They were just getting ready to show the crowd, and I shouldn't have announced it so fast that it wasn't the protester. Let me just tell you about protesters. We have the safest place in the country to be is at a Trump rally, believe me. It's the safest. You know, they had a rally, a great one in New York, and we had like a couple of hundred protesters, which is rare. We don't really have it too much. And they came outside, and the press was there, and they said, do you dislike Donald Trump? Because I was making a speech that night at the Grand Hyatt, which I built, good hotel, on 42nd Street and Park Avenue. It's really Lexington, but I call it Park because Park touches just a little piece of it, right? So I built it, great hotel, and they said, what do you think of Donald Trump? You don't like him, do you? You know, little sort of like, let's push it. Here's the person holding a sign, made in China, out of a print, you know, not made in a basement. They're handing them out. What do you think of Donald Trump? Is he a terrible person? No, I really didn't know why I was here. But I do like him. He's a nice man. Then they go, oh, the guy's devastated because it's live. They can't just cut it, right? They go to another one. And why are you here? I really don't know. These are the protesters. Hey, folks, it's a con job, okay? I will tell you, and I said it, our rallies are the safest place to be on earth, believe me. 31,000 people tonight, and we have thousands of people outside where they can't get in. Does anybody want to give up their seat? So look. A big rock star said, Donald, you're the greatest in the world without a guitar. He means like no musical instrument. You think it's hard to do this? You think it's hard? It is. Do you think it's easy to talk to this massive crowd without having a guitar? Okay? It's not that easy. But it is when you love the people. It is when you know what the hell you're talking about. And it is when we know what the end product is going to be. And that's going to be America first, folks. We're going to make our country so strong and so great, okay? We're going to make our country great. So a couple of things before we go home. And then you can watch yourself on television if you like in this little... A couple of things. First of all, I want to thank you all for being here, because it's an honor. I mean, really an honor. It is. Bernie Sanders is part of a system. I'm not a fan of his. I can't even watch the guy. But I will tell you this. And one of his people called up and said, thank you, because I do say he's part of a system that's rigged. I mean, here's a guy, they talk about superdelegates. Now, the Republican system, in a certain way, is worse because it's more sophisticated. You know, she gets all these superdelegates, but here's what he said about her. He said, she's not qualified to be president. This is Bernie Sanders saying, and I said, oh, soundbite, commercial. Bernie Sanders said about crooked Hillary Clinton, she's not qualified to be president, and she's got bad judgment, okay? Bad judgment. And I said to myself, that's going to be a great soundbite, okay? We'll be using that for a long time. Thank you, Bernie, very much. I appreciate it, Bernie. So here's the story, folks. On June 7th, you've got to go out. You've got to get your friends. Now, you're allowed to write in, you're allowed to send it in. I don't care how you do it, but you are allowed to send it in. But on June 7th, get your friends, go in. You're going to say, because you're going to see such a difference. You're going to see, we're going to be like the smart country. Right now, we're the dummies, okay? We're the dummies. We pay for everyone's military. We take care of Japan. It's a behemoth. It's a tremendous country. I have many friends. But we take care of Japan. We take care of Germany. Nobody knew this until, did anybody know we take care of the military of Germany? Did anyone know that before I told you? I don't think so. You know, I have people coming up, Mr. Trump, I don't know, do we really take care of Germany? We take care of Germany. We take care of South Korea. I order thousands of television sets a year for different places. They come from South Korea. We don't make televisions anymore in this country. Remember, we used to have Sylvania and General Electric and all these televisions. We don't make them. Now we have Samsung, LG. You have Sony, which a little bit has lost its way, but that's in Japan. But you have South Korea. We have 28,000 soldiers on the border between the maniac, right, and North Korea and South Korea, right? So you have 28,000 soldiers, and we take care of them. Now, they pay a little bit, tiny little bit. We are the policemen of the world. We take care of Saudi Arabia. Now, we have Saudi Arabia. Before the oil went down, think of this. Think of this. Before the oil went down, now they're still making a fortune, but before the oil, they were making $1 billion a day. Now, why aren't they helping us? Why aren't they helping us? Because we have stupid people running our country. It's not going to happen anymore. Not going to happen. How about Obama? How about Obama? I don't think you people like our president too much. They don't like. Well, let me tell you something. Hillary Clinton will be the same as Obama and maybe worse. Just remember it. And she shouldn't be allowed to run because what's happened with that whole email scandal is an absolute disgrace. She shouldn't be allowed to run, okay? So how about Obama? He gets on Air Force One. He flies to Cuba. He lands in Cuba at the airport, and there's nobody to greet him. In the great history of Air Force One, I guarantee you, it has never landed at an airport where a leader of a country didn't come out to say, hello, how are you, right? Never happened. Then he goes to Saudi Arabia, and he lands in Saudi Arabia. Now, I like Saudi Arabia. Many friends from Saudi Arabia, they buy my condos. Oh, bing. I love them. No problem. I love them. They're fine. He goes to Saudi Arabia. He lands. There's nobody to greet him. Now, what does Donald Trump do? If I go to Cuba, if I go to Saudi Arabia, I'm on Air Force One, nobody to greet. Sir, there's nobody to greet you of any high rank. I said, where's the king? Where's the king? I want the king to greet me. No, I'm sorry, sir. He's home watching television. I'm sorry. He's watching a beautiful Samsung television. I said, wait a minute. He's not here. Where are the Castro brothers? Give me one of the Castros. I said, no, he's not here. Here's what I do. I say, pilot, come here a minute. How's our fuel? Fine, Mr. President. Get the hell out of here, baby. We're leaving. Right? Get the hell out of here. In the history of Air Force One, that's never happened before. The President of the United States lands in countries not even that big a deal, and there's nobody to even greet him, and he gets off all by himself, lonely. And where is everybody? What happened? How about this? Because I was just thinking about this today. Remember a number of years ago with the Olympics, right? And the president wanted the Olympics. I think that's good. I think it's great. You get the Olympics, it's great. So the president gets on a plane and he goes to Europe, Copenhagen, I believe, right? He goes to Denmark, Copenhagen, Denmark, beautiful place. How many of the migration folks have gone in there? Because we'll see. How about what she's done to Germany? Oh, what she's done. You know, I was supposed to be Man of the Year on Time Magazine, and she beat me out. I said, she destroyed a country. Why did she beat me out? Okay. He goes to Copenhagen, Denmark, right? And I said, oh, that means we got the Olympics. You know, I'm a professional. In other words, if I'm the president of the United States, I go to Copenhagen to get the Olympics, but only if they give me a wink. I'd say, like a little wink. I'd say, hey, did we get it? And they'd say, Mr. President, honestly, you didn't. I said, that's okay. Don't worry about it, but I won't go. But usually you'd say, hey, did we get it? And they go, Mr. President, off the record, you should come. It's going to be good. You're going to be happy. I said, let's go, folks. Come on, we'll go get the Olympics, right? So he leaves, and I say, oh, good, that's wonderful. We got the Olympics. The President of the United States is going to Copenhagen. That means we have the Olympics. They had to give him a wink, right? They didn't give him a wink. He's sitting there. What do we come in, third or fourth? Like fourth. We came in fourth. And he's there. This is amateur hour, folks. This is amateur hour. So, here's what's going to happen. We're going to have an unpredictable country. You know, I get criticized because I say unpredictable. I said, keep the oil from ISIS. Keep the oil. I didn't want to go into Iraq. I said, you're going to destabilize it. I was a civilian. I mean, but some people would ask. I said, don't do it. You'll destabilize. Iran, that horrible Iran deal. That horrible, horrible deal. But Iran made a better deal. They're going to end up taking over Iraq. That's even better. Some of the greatest oil reserves in the world. So I said, keep the oil, right? I always said, keep the oil. Folks, we need to have people that know what's happening. We're being outdealt by every country in the world on trade, on military. There's not a thing. We give our equipment away to our allies. One shot's fired in the air, and they run and they drop the equipment, and the enemy picks up our equipment, and our soldiers don't have equipment that's as good as what the enemy has. So here's what's going to happen. On June 7th, you're going to remember this night, because we had a good time talking about a rotten subject, but the rotten subject's going to be a great subject very soon, okay? You're going to remember this night. And by the way, did we have a good time despite the subject, right? Right? We're going to bring jobs back to our country, folks. We're going to bring jobs back to our country. And any company that wants to leave, that's fine, but they're going to have to pay the consequences. There will be consequences. So they go to Mexico, they make product, they want to sell it back here. Guess what? All those people that have been laid off, we're going to charge them tax and never leaving. Ready? So here's the story. We're going to start winning again. You know, we don't win anymore as a country, right? Look at these older guys over here. They're all saying, you're right, you're right. We used to win. We don't. Veterans for Trump. I love the veterans. I love those veterans. So here it is. On June 7th, you're going to go and vote. You might send it in, but you're going to go and vote. And we are going to start winning again. We're going to win with our military. We're going to knock the hell out of ISIS. We're going to win for our veterans, our great, great veterans. We're going to take care of our veterans. We're going to win on the Second Amendment. It's under siege. We're going to protect our Second Amendment. We're going to win with health care. We're going to repeal and replace Obamacare with something so much better. We're going to win at the border finally. We're going to have strong borders. People are coming into our country. We're going to have the wall. Mexico's going to pay for the wall 100%. And we're going to stop the drugs and everything else from coming in. And people are coming into our country, but they're going to come in legally. And you know what? We're going to win so big with trade, and we're going to make our country wealthy again and strong again, and we're going to rebuild our whole infrastructure again, and we're going to be proud of our country, and we're going to win. And I love to do this, and we'll do it one last time, folks. We're going to win. We're going to keep winning. We're going to win at military. We're going to win at trade. We're going to win at everything we do. We're going to win, win, win. You people, you're going to be sick and tired of winning. You're going to say, Mr. President, please, we can't take it anymore. You're winning too much. And I'm going to say, I don't give a damn. We're going to keep winning 100%. America first. We're going to make America great again. We're going to make America strong again. And you're going to be proud of your country again. I love you. Thank you very much, everybody. I love California. June 7th.